Shalom and shalom on the set of souls, but giving no praise to Yahweh, Shem El Shah, Shem Kodash, that belongs to the apostles of GMS and honors you brothers in the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. It's a quick one. It says cap on Trident nuclear warhead stockpile to rise by more than 40%. So Trident is the name of the nuclear a system that the UK has. Right, it says exclusive Boris Johnson announcement on Tuesday will end. So that's announcement today will end 30 years of gradual disarmament. Britain is lifting the cap on the number of Trident nuclear warheads it can stockpile by more than 40%. Boris Johnson will announce on Tuesday ending 30 years of gradual disarmament since the collapse of the Soviet Union. The increased limit from 180 to 260 is contained in a leaked copy of the Integrated Review of Defense and Foreign Policy seen by The Guardian. It paves the way for a controversial £10 billion rearmament in response to perceived threats from Russia and China. Right, so uh you can, this is the article you can read more into if you want. But the point here is that there is going to be, the plan is to build more nuclear weapons, right? And, you always have it where, you've got the official number, then you got the unofficial number, right? These are just the official numbers, right? Because at the end of the day, this man is a lie. You think he's going to tell you the truth about how many nuclear warheads he really has. This is Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Right, so proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. That's what the Most High is doing. He's starting to put it into into the minds of these different heathen nations, right, to prepare war, to get prepared for these for this third world war, right? Right, it says, beat your plowshares into swords, and this is talking about. Let me finish it. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, "I'm strong." Right. So this is talking about your different, nations. Now, basically, moving their money from agriculture, i.e., plowshares and pruning hooks, into their military, right? So then let the weak say, "I'm strong." And you've been seeing over the last couple of years, right? These weaker nations have basically been building up their arms, right? Getting in prepared for this third world war, whether they know it or not. Right, this is what the Lord is basically having these different nations do. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. Right, because in fact, let me carry on. It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. Right, Yahweh being the name of the Most High, and Shaphat basically being the Lashon Kodash for judgment, right? So it's the valley of Yahweh's judgment, right? It says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Yeah, because this is it. All those that basically go out there, right? A large majority of them are going to die at first, right? And then, those that remain will try to fight the Lord and then be killed that way. You can read that in Second Ezra the 13th chapter, right? After that was nothing to be perceived but dust and smell of smoke, right? So there's going to be a great slaughter over there, right? All of you people that have joined up in the military, all of you people that have, what's the word I'm looking for? All you women that have now, with your equal rights, and I say, yeah, we should be able to go join the military. Guess what? That draft is coming for your ass then. Right, there's no difference, remember, and everyone that goes down there ain't coming back, right? Because where they gonna go back to, especially if you're American, where you gonna go back to? America was gonna be destroyed at the end of this. Okay, says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision, right? I'm pretty sure. Let's just go in sharp point and sharp digit, masculine strict. Yeah. Okay, so we read this now. This is so like I said, this article of course is interesting because this is England. Now England is referred to in the scriptures we're about to get here as the mother of Babylon, okay? Because America came out of England. Okay, so it says, your mother shall be, Shemaiah 50:12, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Yeah, because once again, America's going to be completely destroyed. And guess what? England's going to be one of them countries to shoot nuclear missiles at America. Okay, so because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited. Yes, so this is how bad the destruction is going to be, right? But it's always going to be a monument after, for them that should, otherwise live ungodly. But it's in the kingdom of our kingdom. No one's going to be living ungodly because we're gonna be gods on earth. We're gonna be righteous. The Israelites are gonna be righteous. All Israel, right? No Israelite in the kingdom is ever gonna go off, right? Ever again. Right, when this kingdom is done, bam, that's it. And all the wicked of our people have been, put out. Guess what? That is the last time Jacob ever go and sin ever again. Like we read 1 Corinthians 15th chapter talks about how we shall all be changed, right? The elect ain't going to sin ever again, right? When the last wicked of our children of Israel is basically put to death, right? I ain't entirely sure the timeline, right? But when the last a wicked Israelite is put to death, guess what? No Israelite's ever gonna sin ever again. And hey, that's a beautiful thing. We ain't ever going to sin ever again, right? So we going to be in an absolute rulership. And these nations, they're going to be wanting to do like how we do. You can read that in Isaiah the 2nd chapter, which means they're going to be doing their best to keep the laws, but they ain't going to be able to keep them perfect, right? So it's for me to make that statement that I made about America being a monument, right, about to those that should live ungodly. It's more of a monument of what happens when you live ungodly, right? Because no one's going to be living ungodly in our kingdom, right? We can't stamp that out, okay? This is because of the wrath of Yahweh shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Right? So everyone's going to see, say, yeah, man, hey, the Lord destroyed that place because they were doing this, they were doing that, they were pushing this, they were pushing that. People gonna be like, children gonna be like, whoa, really? You know? So they'll put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Right? And these bows talking about them ICBMs, man, right? When you hear them speak about, in films, they might say it's a broken arrow, right? To shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against Yahweh, right? So this is gonna happen because the Lord, because that land is filthy, it's filled with the blood of the saints. Right, the last precept we got here is Revelation 9 and 16, and just to harp on the point here, as you see, because the apostles have been speaking about how not Revelation, it flips back and forth between time periods. This is another one of those examples, because this verse is actually a new time period. It is a future prophecy, right? So the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them, right? And those horsemen are representative of these ICBMs, right? And that number 200,000, right? So 200,000 times 10, you get 2 million, right? Times 100, you get a 20 million, right? Times 1,000, you get 200 million. Okay, so 200,000 times 1,000 is 200 million, right? So it's 200 million missiles, right? Are going pelt that land, right? And imagine you've got the chariots of Israel that are going to be there as well, right? Which is why this destruction is going to be like nothing ever before. Gotta grab this real quick. This is Habakkuk 3:8. Right? Was Yahweh displeased against the rivers? Was thine anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea? That thou didst ride upon thine horses and upon thy chariots. Right? So basically, what Habakkuk is asking, he's seen a vision. It's like, yo, Lord Yahweh Shemi Shai. Yo, hey, you really hit that place up, man. Was you angry at the rivers? Was you angry at the sea? Like, why did you destroy this place so much? Well, scripture says wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, right? So, as always, Lord, that was edifying. Till next time, I say,